Hello, welcome back to Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna be creating this 2D caterpillar design. Basically, this was actually similar to our centipede or millipede setup using Spreadshock. This guy is currently is just 2D, and if you look at it properly, you can in details, you can see that this is actually made up of a lot of offset line 2D. So I basically need to just make a grease pencil stroke like that, and then the setup will make this design based on grease pencil. So any kind of stroke will work, and then if you do it kind of like if you draw it like an animation, you can get a quite decent like a caterpillar. Well, it's just 2D, but I think it's kind of interesting anyway. So I'll show you how I made this. Actually, it's not that hard, but the basic idea is that I'll start from scratch, go to the top view. If we have like a grease pencil stroke like that, and I go to compositing, and I'll create GP setup. Oops, crashes. I'll restart real quick. Ignore. Okay. Delete everything. Go to the top view. Draw a single stroke. Compositing. And control space. GP, and we get this guy. I'll save it. SV basic caterpillar. Get the stroke and use a frame info here. So from this single grease pencil stroke, we know we can resemble it. But from here, if I turn off the grid, from this guy we can use the offset line, get the vertices and edges, connected to viewer draw, and we know that we can get this guy right here. Now I think this has a lot of potential, especially with the edges. I kind of look at it and then, okay, this looks like the head, this looks like the tail, and the rest of them looks like legs. I talked about this before, and I think this is something that really can be explored, because just like the caterpillar design, it's very structural. There's a head, there's a tail, and there's these legs. We don't know how many legs, and then a lot of fur. So what I did here is that I simply thinking to separate the middle part, and then the leg part, and the tail part. At some point I'll do it more properly, but let's go back to our caterpillar here. This one was basically similar idea. So from a single grease pencil stroke, I use the 2D offset line, so I get this kind of design. The funny thing is that this design actually looks like this character, beautiful, in Chinese or Japanese kanji. It's really strange, but I think I remember it looks like that. From here, what I did is that I separate each and every edge, and then for every edge, once again I apply offset 2D, so I get this. This is almost like similar to the snowflakes. So the part in the middle, actually it's become all this character, but I did that like 2 or 3 times. So what I end up with is something that looks like caterpillar from far away, at least. But that's the basic idea, and it's almost like a fractal, like a 2 or 3 level of fractal. So let me explain. So we have grease pencil, and then we have all this thing to resemble the grease pencil. If I connect this to viewer draw, you can see how it looks like before we reach the end there. So we start with just a resampled line. How many legs of the caterpillar we want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one has 6 legs. And let's turn it off. Continue. I join the mesh there. And then this randomize we don't need. Offset line. This is the length of the caterpillar legs, I guess. And then continue on. What I did here is I'm separating the interior edges. So what we get is just the edge. And this is actually the basis. This is the basic idea. From here, what I did is I actually separate each and every edges. At this point, actually, if I were to do it more properly, I will separate the middle part, separate the antenna, and separate the tail. So I can only I can work on the leg only, and then perhaps kind of separate the legs and animate to be able to control the rotation of each leg. This is what I will do next, but for now, I want to explain this. I'm separating all the edges, and then here, I'm doing the resample once again. This is all the resampling process once again, and then here at the end, we're gonna get this. So for every edge, it's gonna be replaced with this this character, sort of. That's why we get this kind of design. And then what's happening next, I continue on, same process, and make and split and every resample each and every edge once again. Same process. So this process is exactly the same as this, but this one will have more. This one will have more. See, 406 edges resampled until we get this guy right here. So it's kind of complicated, and in fact, if I were to try to do this again, I can get even more detailed fractal where this each and every edge will become that character again. So it's a little bit hard to understand, but this is actually, I think, the basis of sphere. It's based on the Matryoshka doll thing. You can have 3 dolls inside, where each of the doll can have another dolls. So yeah, it's a quite aliens. I think it's quite abstract and hard to explain, but with this caterpillar, and then kind of the idea came from just one edge can be resampled into many edges, and from the many edges you can go inside and every edges, and you do the same thing and then go inside again and then split again, and that will create this complex looking caterpillar. So if I delete everything, I delete the grease pencil and go to the top view, start again, a single stroke of grease pencil, we can kind of create this simple 2D animated caterpillar, sort of. But at some point, I really want to make a proper setup, so it's kind of like a 3D looking, and where the legs actually looking and shape looks more like a leg, and I can animate each and every legs and also the antenna and then the tail, I think it can be interesting. I think we have all the tools here already. I just need to set it up more properly. So yeah, so that's my thinking idea behind this caterpillar. It was actually based on the snowflake setup, but it's much simplified. And here I really relied on the offset line 2D. So hopefully this is useful for you. Again here, offset line 2D. If I give it a color, it's gonna be clear. Another offset line 3D, 2D. So this is 3 levels of offset line 2D, and with helps of things like polygon boom and UV connections, we can get this quite detailed design. Currently, this only works on a single grease pencil, but you can try make another setup where it's gonna work with a multiple stroke. So currently this it doesn't work with multiple stroke, I don't think. Oh, it actually does, because I misjoined it. Well, there we go. That's a quick breakdown of this caterpillar setup. In near future, I will try to make a proper and real caterpillar looking objects. This part in the middle actually quite interesting. There's a creature called bear, miniature bear creature. What is it called? Yeah, this guy right here. The water bear. So this creature is really strange. Water bear creature. So I'm thinking to make this creature using sphere chalk based on this idea right here. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it for this live noding. Hopefully it's useful for you. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye.